another Let's Be Real. I'm Olivia.
And I'm Jillian.
So we are here another again with another controversial topic.
Topic.
It's very touchy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We are gonna the topic we're gonna talk about today is called church predators.
Whew. Yes.
And I know it's a sensitive topic,
It is.
but we feel like it's something that needs to be addressed
It needs to be
because it's happening to
to on a regular
people
yeah
all over, and people are scared to talk about it, and it is never addressed in the church. You're not gonna go to church and hear somebody talking about
right.
um, church predators or molestation in the church or stuff like that.
Which is crazy. Yeah.
And so we just want to talk about it. Um, we want to give our perspective on it.
Yeah. Is it just
and you can do the same,
yeah,
in the comment section. Recently, over the years, it's not even recent. From time to time over the years, we hear about a particular denomination that molestation is happening in this particular denomination, and I don't think enough has been done about it.
Yeah, I really don't. Yeah.
But it's brushed under the carpet because the church is a powerful entity, and people might be afraid to touch it or to dwell on it and so on. But what we want to talk about is not only large churches and great and powerful churches, but our local churches.
Right.
Because these things are also happening in our local churches to teenagers, to young adults, and to children. What do we do about it?
True. I think we need to go to the law and not play favoritism. Oh, it's just this person, because that's not right. And I went to this particular church. I went to a church, and it happened to me, but not into that extent. And I was I'm an adult. It happened. I went. Wow. I think I was like 20. I think. This person was keep like being very inappropriate, and I felt very uncomfortable, right? And I spoke to spoke to the leader, and then the leader addressed it. Then he left me alone for he left me alone. But I'm like, there are other people who are not so strong as I am,
and not so forthcoming or verbal, and younger too, because I've heard of instances where there are church predators in the kids area. Ooh, whether you want to call it Sunday school or what you want to call it. There are predators that go to these kids area and they molest the children, and oftentimes it's not talked about. It's kept a secret.
Or if it's like, he just touched you. Oh, that's nothing. People touch people. I'm like, he touched me on my leg. That's not right. Like,
yes.
How can you downplay
something?
Sometimes
it is downplayed.
Like, that's not correct. That's not right. We should address it. And I think that as parents, we let down our guard.
Yes, when we send our children to church.
Because I mean, I get that we say that it's church and we should stay apart from from the world.
A church is supposed to be a safe place. Really, a church is supposed to be a safe place, but it's not always that way.
And I feel like they target churches.
Yes,
because
predators will target church because they know
they get away with a lot.
They get away with a lot of things. So how do we handle it? Because I've heard of many instances when my daughter came to me. She was about 20, and she was older, so she was more assertive and she knew what to do, and we knew what to do. But I've heard of many instances before, even her, that children in the church are being taught, and then you hear about it and you wonder what is being done at this church. Or somebody may come and tell you their experience of something that happened to them in the church, and you ask them what was being done.
Right.
Nothing is being done. So I think we need to take a stand at some point
and say no. And if you feel that's true, I can be your person. Like, I can stand up for you. Like, I don't play those games. And I have friends who experience, and I'm like, so what do you do about it? Oh, I just brushed it off. And I'm like, what? No, why are you brushing it off?
Yeah, because it's so and so. And the sad thing about it too, parents brush it off too.
Which is so wrong.
Because it is this person that is in this powerful position, and they brush it under the carpet. Because you revere that person, or you have that person in high esteem,
Right.
or you're afraid to go to the law because it's your church brother,
Right.
or
Or you hear them say that, oh, it's they're struggling. We have known about it. They're just going through. It's just a struggle, and we're working with them. There's a difference between
yeah,
you
you're
have a
struggling with something,
yeah,
and
and it
when does it become
become
illegal?
illegal. That's
Because
illegal.
a lot of churches uses this scripture in the Bible that says, "Don't carry your brother to court." But we need to take the Bible into perspective,
Right.
because when Paul was addressing that, he was addressing it because he even mentioned in there that it's can't you deal with smaller things?
Right. In first,
So
I think it was
obviously,
First Corinthians 6.
yes,
Yeah, y'all can go read it. First Corinthians 6.
it's obviously
Yeah.
they were just taking each other to court for small matters.
Mhm.
But this is not a small matter. So sometimes when we read the Bible, we have to put it into perspective. This is a legal matter, and this is a serious matter. Molestation and sex offense and so on is
Yeah.
a serious matter. It doesn't matter if you think it's a little touch or
Touch,
whatever. There's
right.
no touch that's inappropriate and little, as far as I'm concerned.
Exactly.
So it needs to be addressed and it needs to be dealt with, especially when it comes to children
No.
and not adults. When it is the adult has it in their own power to assert
Sure,
themselves,
right.
or to take corrective measure,
Mhm.
or to do what they think appropriate at the time. They can also go to call the law themselves,
Right, exactly.
because they're an adult. But a child is a child,
And we're supposed
and-
to protect
and
that
we're
child.
supposed to be protective
Mhm.
of a child. And so when a child finds himself in this position at church, we can't just sweep it under the
Right.
carpet.
And then we take it to the pastor and expect the pastor to do something about it when it's your
It's
child.
your child,
You know what I mean?
you know,
And I feel like
and
I
it's
feel-
something that it's a crime.
Right. And I feel
You
like
know?
we put the pastor in a very awkward position because most of the time it won't happen at the church. It happened like an outside event or
Yeah, outside of the church.
and I'm like,
But
you as the parent should
Take control.
go call the cops. Whether you think it's happened, it's the church member. No, if you send your child to school and your child tells you this,
You're gonna call the
you're
cops.
gonna call the cops. You're not gonna take it to the principal. No, you're gonna call the cops, and then they take
Yeah.
they do an investigation. And I think we should apply the same measure as
When
if
it comes to
the
church.
church.
And
Right.
there are some adults at church too that they are aware that this is happening, and they don't they put it on the carpet and they don't
Oh,
say
right.
anything about it. If a child comes to you at church, I don't think it is now a church matter.
Mm-mm.
That is my opinion.
Yeah.
If something is criminal is being done to a child, even if it's in a church, it's no longer a church matter.
It's
a matter for the law.
Mhm.
Because if the child was at school or even in the home and the same thing happened, it is a matter for the law.
Right.
So we cannot no longer use the church as a shield. I think we have been using the church for too long
Mhm.
as a shield, and because predators know that,
Yeah, they get
they
away.
target
They get
the
away.
church.
Yeah.
Because some people, you think they're your holy brother or your
Mhm.
holy sister,
Right.
but they are there for one purpose. They know that the church is a shield,
right.
and they're molesters. They come to the church
Mhm. And
they-
which is wrong.
pretend
Yeah.
that they are Christians or they are this
And
good
even
person.
as you say that, what do you call those? The ones that go overseas,
Missionaries.
missionaries.
Yes.
They prey on the
Poorer
on the
people
poor
in other
people
countries,
in the-
because
and
we have heard it before.
Right.
They leave and they go to other poorer countries as missionaries, where they know that these people are defenseless
Yep.
because of poverty,
Yeah.
and they go there and they prey on the children, there, under
And
the
who
guise of the
are
church
church.
and under the guise of being a missionary. And when are we gonna address this issue as a church?
Stand up and say enough is enough.
Yeah, when are we gonna address this issue as a
Mhm.
church? And even sometimes, it is in the news. Some things come in the news, and nothing is done about it. I'm like, okay,
Really?
so this is in the news. Why is nothing being, or enough is not being done?
Done. Right.
So at what point as Christians That's we say we name the name of God, and we are supposed to be just because the Bible says God is a just God, and God does not like injustice. And this is a travesty. It's a great injustice. What are we as Christians going to do about these things? Because we don't talk about it. It's not talked about in the church. It's not addressed. It's
really
just
ain't.
placed under the
On the
carpet, and
carpet.
everybody move on like nothing is happening.
Right.
When it is happening in your local churches, in your neighborhood, your children go to church and this happens and nobody is saying anything about it.
Exactly. That's a good question. Why? Why is this happening? Why is it
Why
happening?
is nobody saying anything about it? So we
Yeah.
are here.
We're here, and we want you guys to give your thoughts, your own opinion as well. And if we have to do a part 2 of this,
Yes.
because I think it goes wider than just
And deeper.
and deeper.
But some things we're gonna have a membership side
Yeah.
too.
Yes.
I want to leave some deeper issues for members and people that is in a closer environment. But we are touching on the surface today,
Yes.
so that if you are afraid,
Mm.
or if you have been placed in a situation like that, or a loved one has been
Right.
placed in a
Business.
situation like that, that you know that you have the power to stand up, because a church is supposed to be a safe place. And when that doesn't happen, then you have the right and you have the power
Right.
to go to the law, because it is no longer a church matter. I want you to understand this.
Yes.
And I don't
Please
want you to
understand.
allow people to tell you that, oh, you're not supposed to take your brother to court.
That's not right.
That's not
Yeah.
right.
People like to take
they
the
take
scripture
the
out of
Bible out of
context,
context a
yeah.
lot of times. This is a legal matter, and it's a matter for the state and for the law. So you go to the law, and if you have to get out of that environment or leave the church,
Go ahead.
so be it.
Yeah.
Because at some point we have to take a stand.
Right.
You
Because
know?
you rather to leave than you have some form of trauma.
Yes.
Because it's not just your child's gonna have that trauma, you're gonna have that trauma as well.
Yes.
And then you're gonna have that guilt carrying around. Maybe if I just
Did this or
this,
did that,
yeah.
my child would be okay, or my family
or my
member
family would be okay.
would be okay,
Mhm.
or whatever. Because I don't joke around with things like this.
I
No,
feel like they would have to call cops on me if that's
Yeah.
the issue.
So
you know?
we dealt with it swiftly, and Olivia was an adult, and we dealt with it swiftly when we heard that was happening. So it's not something you should joke about. And she's not soft, or
not.
she knows what to
No.
do when. And then so do not allow
Yes.
these things to happen under the fact that, oh, I respect this person, oh, he's the elder, oh, he's the pastor, oh, he's this, oh.
Yeah.
Listen.
Or he
If-
helps my family financially.
Yes.
And I don't want to,
say anything because he's financial.
Wrong is
powerful person.
wrong.
Wrong is wrong. Right is
Wrong.
right.
Yeah.
And so we want to hear from you
Yes.
in the comment section.
Give us your thoughts, please.
Give us your thoughts.
Yes.
And if this is happening to you or has happened to you, there is recourse as well. You need to, if this is something that has happened to you before and it's bothering you or it's affecting your life, you need to seek recourse from a counselor
Yes.
or
Very important.
somebody.
Very important.
And if it's a situation that you're presently in, you have to get up and act.
On that, yeah.
You have to get up and act. So thank you
Thank
again.
you. Yes, thank you for joining us. Thank you
For
for
joining
tuning
us.
in. Yes, please
And-
don't forget to like, subscribe,
And share.
and share this video because we want to come in and give you guys new stuff every week. And just
And also, if you have anything that you want us to talk about that is
yes.
not being talked about in the church, you can tell us in the comment section.
please do. Please.
Also, we
yes.
will be happy
Yes.
to address it.
All
So
right.
thanks again.
Thank you guys so much.
And
See y'all later.
bye.
Bye.